Hello and welcome to FatbossTV.
Hello.
And today what we're going to be doing is looking at the garrisons on the Warlords of Draenor Alpha.
So, for the people who did watch the live stream the other day, I did actually have a quick look at the garrisons, but it appears you've done far more than what I did.
I've pretty much like recorded the whole zone to see what happens to the garrison, because the garrison is so heavily integrated with other things that you do. But for the people who don't even know what a garrison is, it's like you'll build your own house on the Warlords of Draenor, and it's amazing. I'm showing this starting area off just to show you how quickly you get your garrisons, because Blizzard were like, yeah, you're going to get your garrisons really early. It's going to be super quick, but it is ridiculously quick. It took me 9 minutes to get to my garrison, and that was fucking about.
Yeah, you've got, what, 4 quests to do before you get to your garrison?
Yeah, you, like, mark some trees, kill some guys, and then kill some elite. Because at the moment, you're actually clearing the area where your garrison's going to sit. So you need to cut down the trees, you need to get rid of the wildlife, and you need to kill this big guy because he's being a bastard.
And just to stress, this is Horde.
Yeah,
the Alliance experience will be different.
And we will be covering that when it does come out. But Horde's only available for testing. So once you've done that, you go and talk to our fella, and he's like, right, I'm going to build your garrison now. I'm going to give you an amazing cutscene that isn't in the game yet.
Yeah.
So there isn't any cutscene yet. But here you are, your garrison. It's beautiful.
It's a bit makeshift.
This is your town hall, Lawrence, like the big major working building. It's a little bit crap at the moment, but you've only just built it. So, of course, that will be upgrading. It will look sexier and sexier, but this is your garrison. All of this area is where you're going to be building things.
And it's a large area.
It is a large area. There's a lot of stuff here. And of course, you've got a flight master, you've got
Portal to
Orgrimmar. You've got an innkeeper as well, so you can set your Hearthstone here, which I highly recommend you do, by the way, because you're going to be coming back to your garrison quite a lot, not only because of like your missions and things, but because of them, like when you send when you get quests and you get brought back as well. So the first thing that you're asked to do is go and build a barracks, but before we go straight into that, we're going to have a quick look at all the buildings and the building sort of UI that you get. So this is the UI which you will make your
buildings, your individual buildings, yeah.
It looks very similar. It's very similar to BlizzCon, but as you can see, there's like only 4 empty plots of land right now. The rest of them are taken up. So you've got 1 large, 1 medium, and 2 small plots of land available. So of course you've got your town hall right in the middle. You can't change that, but of course you'll be upgrading that and things like that. And then you've got 4 locked areas around the side. The thing is, one of these is a pet battle place,
which scares me.
Yeah, so they're actually making that quite like a fundamental one. You've also got a fishing shack, and as you can see at the top, it has 3 different perks. And you unlock those perks as you kind of level up the thing. So one of them is like, oh, we'll give you some fish every day, which is pretty cool. Another one is, oh, the fish will be slightly better, then you'll be able to catch a better fish in your garrison. And then one of them's like, you'll get an amazing bait for an awesome fish or something. So that's pretty cool. You also get a herb garden, which you can grow fruit in, which I imagine is just another word for herbs. And one of the perks of that is it becomes a mechanical picker. You get a mechanical picker, so it does it for you. So you don't have to do.
So it's going to be like the MOP farm.
Yeah, but it does it for you.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And the last one is the mine, which is pretty much here. We're giving you shit, but you can also see that there's levels, and each building does have levels. And I'm not going to go through every single level because that'll take forever. But generally, what the levels do make it so the building's just more effective. So say instead of getting 1 set of items a day, you'll get 2 at level 2, and then at level 3 you'll get 4. Or like with the herb garden,
which is what we expected anyway.
The herb garden just becomes bigger and things like that. So going through all the buildings that you can get, in the large ones, you get an armory. It hasn't got any perks yet. You can't use it yet. You also got a barracks, and this does actually have 3 perks, and we're going to be building this very shortly, which is awesome. One of them is Call to Arms, and this is your zone-wide ability that you get to use everywhere.
And it's strong as hell.
And it's really strong. We'll be showing that off shortly. You also get a first aid person, which will just come and deliver potions and bandages to you each day, which is awesome. Like that is
considering potions are actually going to be used in raids.
Yeah, that's actually going to be really good. And you can also unlock a prison, which catches criminals and makes them pay fines and stuff, which is awesome. You can also build a Mage Tower, which isn't actually in just yet, but it'll give you a recall portal. This is mainly to do with your missions. It will bring your
followers back
quicker because say it's going all horribly wrong, you can bring them back.
Yep.
This one will make it so they get there very quickly, and this will actually allow you to have different portals in your main city. So instead of having to always go to Orgrimmar, you can make one for Undercity as well, which is really good. Stables, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Oh, the beautiful. You'll be actually able to house 5 of your pet mounts and be able everyone be able to come in and have a look at them.
And there's a mount trader as well.
Yeah, a rare mount
memory,
trader.
yeah.
I don't really know what that's all about, to be
So
honest.
you can buy your invincible.
Yeah, so that was a workshop. It had nothing, but the barn is going to allow you to get like extra skinning, like skin gathering each day. There's no like skin material yet, so I don't really know what that's about.
It might apply to your followers, perhaps.
Maybe.
Or maybe even the building itself.
Yeah. You can build an inn, and the inn seems to be the one to buy, because you can actually get new followers in by using material, and I'll show you material in a little bit. But so you can actually go and like get new followers, and you can also get cooking dailies from
Hooray,
the inn.
dailies.
Yeah. We've also got a lumber mill, nothing to do with that. The sparring arena, there's nothing to do with that as well, and the trading post has no perks either. Now, the small ones, you have an Alchemy Lab, and the Alchemy Lab is actually really interesting. We'll be actually having a look at this later on in the video. But what the perks are is it has like a student lab, which makes you like basically they get students in, they fuck about with some potions, and then they give you the potions at the end of the day, which is pretty awesome. They also give you items that I'm not 100% what they do yet. That hasn't really been said. They give you these crystals.
Okay.
Which isn't 100% sure. And one to do with elixirs. I imagine they'll be giving you elixirs at the end of each day. These aren't implemented yet, so you can't actually play about with them. But there's also an enchanter's study, an engineering works, a gem boutique, a salvage yard, a scribes. There's so many things, Lawrence. And the forge is actually got perks. It looks like the forge is just going to like refine all the stuff you get from your mine and make it so the shipments are better. And the tannery doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all the buildings. There's so many of them, and they're really, really cool. I'd love to play out of it. Of course, there's so limited plots at the moment, but you'll be getting a lot more of them as it goes on. So at the moment, after you've had a look for all the buildings, it's time to go and build your barracks. So you've got to go and do a bunch of stuff and mainly collect material.
Yeah, because you can't build a building without the materials.
Yeah.
So you've got a couple of quests to start with just to pick up a few materials.
Exactly. So like material, the way that you get material is either through quests, and you can also get them off of like they can just randomly spawn in chests like around the world, which is pretty cool.
And they're also from rare mobs.
Yeah, exactly. I'll show that off in a little while, how they drop from rare mobs. So at the moment, I'm just going around, and here you actually have to go and pick up the plan for the barracks, which is pretty cool. So it's just like a little scroll. At the moment, I imagine that's just a placeholder. But I go and use it actually in the interface so you can see. So once you've actually used it...
Which
boom.
you don't need to do.
No, you can use it anywhere, but I'm just showing it for demonstration purposes. It does cost 50 material. I've only got 15 at the moment.
Yeah.
So I can't actually
So you need to go
use
get some materials.
Yeah, and you also get one material every 10 minutes as well, as generally. But it's normally better to go out and harvest your own instead of just sitting around for it. So I did have a quest to go and kill some mobs, as well as... pick up some boxes and kill this big guy, which was pretty amazing. But also then like I did actually see a rare mob out in the wild, so I did go and kill it, and it did drop quite a lot of material as well. So it seems like these rare mobs, although that they're like not like compulsory, they seem like a really good idea because of the material that they drop.
Yeah.
So it is really, really worth.
Although he
going
didn't
out
drop
and
that
killing.
much.
He only dropped 12, but in all fairness, that kind of pushed me over. If you only do the quest, you don't actually have enough materials.
Right. Okay.
So it's like
you need to go find
and actually
materials.
kill a rare mob. So here you go. This is how you do it. You plonk it into the right zone, makes a ridiculously loud noise that I've turned down in post.
Yeah,
for
that
you.
was annoying on the stream.
Oh my god. Well, if you think that's annoying, going up to this. So the barracks is actually building itself over there. And look at it. You can actually see the workers working on it. They're making horrible, horrible noises. It's ridiculously loud. It's ridiculously loud. But look, it's completed. It shows it up there in the Garrison report tab, so you can see it anywhere in the world. And then what you do, you click on this, it finalizes the plot, and then you get an amazing cutscene. Fireworks going off everywhere. Lawrence is beautiful. So yeah, then it's built your whole barracks.
So there we go. That's our first building.
Yeah, and then you can see that there's orcs everywhere, and they're all fighting. The floor's a little bit buggy. I give you that much when you start moving around. But that's alpha. It is early alpha,
It's
so
still
you
early.
kind of expect that. But the barracks itself, there's no like actual like things to do in it.
Yeah, it's a little bit empty. I
There's
mean,
no mobs like to like talk to, or there's like no vendor or anything. However, you do see that at the top we have got a button. Now,
and this isn't an extra action button.
No, this isn't an extra action button. This is your garrison ability, and it's called Call to Arms. And it's a 5-minute cooldown. You can use it anywhere in this zone in Frostfire Ridge. You can't use it in dungeons either, but you can also see that you can bind it because it's in the spellbook. So you can just click and drag it onto your bars, and then I actually click it just to show you that the bar works. But normally you'd bind it and you'd click on it, and it calls a bunch of these things, and they do so much damage.
Yeah.
They do so. This looks like no damage, but this just it carries you so hard.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous how much damage they do. Like I show you here that I was doing a quest, this is supposed to be done by 3 people.
Oh yeah, I did this on my priest. I struggled.
Yeah, I did it on my hunter really easy, but on my paladin it was hard. So I used my call to arm abilities, all of my cooldowns, and then I could kill it. So it like carries you so hard. There's so much damage. You got like 2 pikemen as well that are taunting the ads. So like you don't take as much damage. You can see he just turned around and like one hit one of them. So it's ridiculously strong. It's on a 5-minute cooldown. It does make it so every now and then you can pull a bunch of mobs and just AoE them down, which is awesome. So either way, I got a quest after doing that to go and get my first follower, so I can start sending out missions, right? So I went to some cave, bless him, and he was hanging upside down in a cave. So I let him loose, and he fell to the ground, and he told me that he'll meet me back at the garrison. So this is like just a very quick quest sort of thing, just to make it so you can start doing your missions, and you can go back to your garrison. So once you're back at your garrison, you talk back to the fella, and there you go. You'll be able to get your first follower.
Hooray!
So it has a nice little animation at the bottom. It does look pretty good, to be honest. And you've been told now, you have to do this, by the way. Like the tutorial for it is like compulsory as part of the quest chain, which I'm not sure is too good. But afterwards you don't have to muck about with it. But this is your first mission. This is like the mission area. And before we go into that, we're gonna have a look at the follower. So this is your follower. He says it's a Fury Warrior, but except all of them are Fury Warriors at the moment. Yeah. Every single follower is. And it shows you got his abilities, and these like counter things that happen in the missions. So say in one mission there's like a it's on the plains. If you send him on the plains, not only is it more likely he'll win, but it's very likely that he'll get bonus loot as well. Yep. So you see here that his taunt, when you pick him up to put him in, he's choking. It's
I like
beautiful.
that animation.
But you can see that he's countering his wild aggression with his taunt, and it's going to definitely give me a box afterwards, a reward box. So that's it. You just send him off.
And you wait.
And you wait. So that's going to take half an hour. You can check your progress at any point during this thing. And then after you do the quest, you just go on and do your main quest chain. If you want, you actually don't have to do any more things to do with followers or anything like that anymore. Yeah. That was it. So it's like the tutorial. So I was just off questing in a place, and then it told me, oh look, it's done. You can go back to your garrison. So that was awesome. You can check it in the report thing as well. Shows you that it's all done. So after I completed my quest and a little bit more, I did actually pop back, and from that, it also told me it again because I just logged back in because it's beta and it's very weird. Well, it's alpha even. You go back to the thing. It tells you that garrison a mission's been completed. You see him slapping him in the face, and that you win, and you get to open this box. And in the box there's like bonus loot. It can either be like armor and things like that. But I actually got a contract, which. What contracts do is that they actually give you a brand new follower. So I'll show you that. Like I'm going to open my bags now and like use the item, and it gives you a whole new follower. That's the only time I've actually got a new follower through the garrison thing. So yeah, but you can also get new followers that are just randomly sitting around in your garrison, which I thought was a bit weird. This is the only one I've encountered so far. But
yeah,
like,
this is the only one I encountered. I also encountered one out in the world.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't actually manage to find that. So yeah, she's just like, yeah, I want to fight for yours. And it's like, okay. So what I do, I go back to the mission list and have a look at my followers again. And as you can see, they are all Fury Warriors. Even the Mage in a second is a Fury Warrior. But they do have different traits. And the thing is, it tells you what it counters. However, when you highlight over it, it gives you a lower error.
Yeah.
So that's not very nice. You don't actually properly know. But going into the mission list, what I was trying to do, and what I think you should be trying to do, is trying to counter what that person has. And you can tell if you countered it because it has a little tick next to the thing, so you can see the Blackrock Raider. I'm trying to counter it by dragging my people into it.
But you have nothing to counter it.
But nothing counters it. So, okay, but I have got another mission. So what I do is that I'm going to check the other mission in a second. So none of this working. I'm getting like, okay.
I mean, it's worth having a look at anyway.
Yeah, so but I check the other mission and I drag them all in, and it seems like nothing counters anything at the moment with these quests. So you can pretty much just send anyone on any quest.
Yeah, so it's just lack of followers at the moment. Yeah, pretty much.
So all you do, drag them in. It tells you that you're going to get a reward later. Done.
And sending them on the missions itself does actually cost materials.
It does, yeah. It does cost 5 material at the moment, but some like they don't always actually bring material back, but they can do. So either way, afterwards I was don't ignore the bugs. But I was doing quests out in the wild, and I got this quest chain from the garrison itself. It's a completely optional quest chain, and after I completed a bunch of stuff, this guy's like, "I like you. I'll become your follower as well."
I never got this guy.
Yeah, I didn't either in my first playthrough. So you really have to go out and properly look for it. So I got a brand new guy now, which is awesome. And while I was actually doing the quest chain, I killed a mob, and he dropped this purple item. Right, a quest item. A blue item, sorry, is a quest item. And I was like, oh, okay. So what it does is you have to take it back to your garrison. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So
you get a flask.
You get a flask for it. So this fella's like, oh, well done. Thanks for finding me flask. Here, have a flask. But he also gives you a quest. It turns into a little quest chain. But once you complete the quest chain, you actually get a plan for a building.
Oh, yeah. This is the Alchemy one.
This is the Alchemy Lab, yeah. So luckily I managed to find it. That is a random world drop by the looks of it. So, of course, I got the brand new plan, and what I did, as I do always, I went and Hearthstone back, and I showed you it in the UI, but you can do this anywhere.
Yeah.
But I was just showing how immediate it is. And then all you have to do is drag and drop it once again where you want it. So there's 2 different slots. I threw it into that one because why not? It made a horrible loud noise. And there you go. They're building it. This one only cost 1 material, and it took 10 seconds. It seems like most of them cost 1 material and take 10 seconds because it's really, really early. Of course,
yeah. They
haven't properly programmed it. So there we go. You get the lovely cutscene. Don't know why they put fireworks in them every time. I'm not going to complain, but yeah, the fireworks in it every single time. And now you have an Alchemy Lab. Now, the Alchemy Lab doesn't really work properly. You do have this guy who sells you plans, and those little potions you get from missions from rewards, so you can unlock plans like that way. And this woman has a quest for you to start a work order, but it seems to just break, so I just left it as it was. It just didn't seem to work.
Right.
Now, another way you can get buildings out in the wild is from this fella.
Yeah, so if you decide to not do your garrison, and you don't want to play with it at all, you just want to get to level 100, you can come back to this guy and buy them.
Exactly. They're quite expensive, but of course this is all subject to change. I decided to build, I think it was an engineering works. So there we go, got the engineering works, just lobbed it into the last place that I had. Made a horrible noise once again, because you can't even turn that noise down. It's a weird bug with the alpha at the moment. So there you go, it's building its way there. For some reason there's enchanting mobs in it. It's an engineering works. But yeah,
Alpha be alphin.
Yeah, and of course there wasn't any building animation or anything, but there still was the fireworks. The fireworks.
I like the fireworks. It's a nice touch.
But either way, so yeah, that's the engineering works with enchanters in it that don't actually do anything. So of course, Alpha be alpha. But I also went and bought myself a barn, which is like a medium-sized building. So this is like my first medium-sized building that I have. And there's only 1 plot of land for it. I dragged it into the right place and everything. So I bunged it down there. And it didn't actually do anything.
It's just sat there.
The building was there, but nothing actually worked once again. Like, you couldn't find loads of plot or anything. So.
Right.
An interesting thing, like other things that happen in your garrison, is that there's like a little scenario that's going to be going on. I actually fast forward this, but like there's basically you're going to be attacked and they're going to be here in a second. And he's like, oh god, quickly, sort everything out. So he like fires a horn, and look how the garrison reacts. Like, everyone starts running about. All the peons are running into your town hall, just like in Warcraft 3. And you're getting ready for it. Everyone's ready for the fight. Nothing happens because it's alpha, which is really unfortunate. I really wanted to see it.
That's awesome. I never experienced that.
Yeah, so there is actually like little things like that going on.
So that's just an example of the sort of events that could potentially be happening on live with your garrison.
Most important thing, though.
Oh yeah, you get relieve yourself, yeah.
There's a toilet.
That's the best thing about the garrison. So
yeah,
far.
you can go pooping in your garrison.
Well, I think to be fair though, I think considering how early it is in alpha, I think they've done a great job so far.
Much going on.
But there's obviously so much more work.
Oh god, yeah.
And how much longevity can be with the garrison system right now, at least, I don't know. I think the rewards might make up for it. But
like the problems that I had sometimes with the garrison is returning to it. Like when a bunch of missions happened, that having to go back and deal with it sometimes is a pain in the ass. But
maybe they'll solve that with some sort of like tabard teleport back system.
Well, the problem, of course, you can always Hearthstone back, which isn't an issue. But of course, you have to go back to where your quests are anyway.
Yeah.
But I imagine in other zones, like having to go back to
Outposts.
your, hopefully the outposts make it so you can do your missions from there, because if you can't do your missions from your outpost, not a lot of people are going to be going back to sort out their missions. It'll be too much of a pain to go all the way back to Frostfire Ridge. Of course, you are going to be able to move your garrison later on, but I don't think it's going to be available just on release, so hopefully the outposts do sort that out. So yeah, that's Garrisons. It's a lot there.
Thank you very much for that preview, Alex.
It's crazy. But it's really fun. I think it's really interesting. And there's a lot of room to grow, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much they can do, and it's really awesome to see how early they've actually introduced it. I wasn't expecting it to be 4 quests in, essentially.
Exactly.
Although, to be fair, you do need to make your way to Draenor, which is like 50% of level 90.
Yeah, but like in the actual area.
But actually in Draenor, 4 quests in.
Yeah.
I hope they keep that like for life. I think it's a really, really nice introduction to it. But yeah, very impressive. I like what they've done so far. And of course, it does encourage you to also do quests out in the world and actually explore the world.
Yeah, because you can get followers and stuff.
Because you can get followers, which can potentially make you rich.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's the idea, at least.
It's really awesome.
I like the idea of it. I think it has so much potential. And of course, once new updates come on, me and Alex will be there to cover it.
Yeah, should be good.
So thank you very much for watching, and thank you again, Alex, for showing us that.
That's okay.
And we will see you next time, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.